Hey guys, it's Lydia. So, we're doing this. We're doing the thing. This is going to be my first video. Just a quick heads up. I am recording in a room where there's a cat. So you're probably going to hear her meowing and or playing with things or whatever. Also, I can't see what I'm recording, so I don't know how it's gonna look, but we're gonna hope that it turns out well. And if you see this video, then obviously I was happy enough with it to upload it. So I'm just gonna run through and do my makeup like I normally would. I'm gonna put my hair back so it's not in the way. And then we're gonna go ahead and start. So yeah, so things are pretty crazy. I guess I've had people telling me to like start a channel for a couple of years now, and just never got around to it. And I guess we're doing it. So I'm just going to go in with my foundation. I use the Bare Minerals original foundation. This is what I like just for every day. And for my skin, I have really sensitive skin. Like right now I have a couple of breakouts that I'm trying to get rid of. And I find that because this has, you know, good ingredients in it, that it keeps my skin healthier, and I don't break out often, but when I do, it's enough to cover the breakout. So I'm just gonna go in with this, and I'm gonna look super pale for a little bit here, but it'll go away at some point. So yeah, I mean, I am not one to like sit and talk to a screen. I mean, I have a hard enough time like talking to people in general. I consider myself an outgoing person, but it's always nice to have like a second party to keep a conversation going. So now I'm just relying on me to do it. So yeah, in this process, I did do like a Instagram stories, and I asked like what you guys most wanted to see. So I have a couple of those answers, and really appreciate you guys for giving me some feedback on what you would most like to see from me. And so I'm definitely going to be doing videos on that. The other thing is when this video gets posted, there is a comment section below. Leave comments and let me know what you most are wanting to see from me, or if you're looking for any tips, any pointers, any product recommendations. I am happy to take the time to do that. I know this looks pretty crazy right now, but this is just kind of what I do. It's quick, it's easy, and it's, in general, it's good for the skin. So we're just gonna go through with it. Also, I used to be like somebody that really enjoyed a lot of full coverage foundations, and I did concealer, the whole shebang, baking, whatever. And that is great for certain times, like if I have a special occasion, or I'm going to be on stage for something or whatever, which is not often. I will do full liquid foundation, full coverage concealer, the whole nines. I'll do all of it. But for everyday stuff, I like to keep things pretty light. And this does it for me. So I'm not really too worried about this showing through, or a couple of these little things showing through. Also, thing to note, I have this little patch of skin here that just will not take any product. So it kind of looks a little bit patchy. It's not the foundation's fault. It's just my skin. It's kind of how it is. So we are about to finish this up. I'm going to go under my eyes really quickly, and just put a little of this down there. And then I will move on to bronzer. Now, I don't typically contour really any day at all. I'm just going to put some chapstick on here. So I'll do it today just so you kind of have like an idea. What I'm going to use is this, I've got some loose hairs on this brush. I'm I'm just going to use this angled brush right here. This is a Morphe brush. I'm just going to be totally honest. A lot of my brushes are Morphe brushes. They're extremely affordable. You can get them at Ulta. You can get them online, and typically you can use a discount code. Typically it'll be 10% off. So if you're looking for some decent brushes that are going to be affordable and give you the look that you're going for, I would do that. Actually, we're going to use this for contour, excuse me. What I use for bronzer, what did I say? Am I going to go in with contour first or bronzer? Yo, I don't know. We'll contour first. Okay. So we're going to use this brush for contour. And I've just got this really ratchety old NYX palette, so we're just going to go in with that. And typically with contour, one of the biggest differences here is contour needs to be like a neutral shade. You don't want to really use like a warm shade because you're brown the face. So contour can be a cool tone color. So then typically what we think is we're going to go right into the hollows and we're going to follow that line down. The problem with this is sometimes you pull your face down too much. So I like to go right above that hollow of my cheek and blend upwards a bit. So we're going to go in, take the brush just like this, and we're going to lay down that product. So obviously you can see the product is down, and I'm not following this line down, I'm following it this way. So we're just going to keep blending this up into the skin. I'm blending up, not down. Okay, we don't want to pull the face down because you are putting a shadow on your face. So we're going to continue just to blend this up. Also blend it up into your hairline right here. So we're just going to do that. And then I blend it up into the cheek a little bit just so there's no harsh lines happening. I am going to go in with the same shade, and then we are going to blend our forehead. So one of the reasons we blend up into here is because you don't just want to blend the forehead, you want to blend around the frame of your face. So if you're going to lay down product here, it needs to be here as well so that you keep with that blended look. So we're going to do that on the other side. Okay, so I'm just going to go in again with that contour shade. You're going to build this up right in here. And again, just make sure you're doing your temples as well. You want this all in here to be blended out. And then bronzer, that's going to be your warmer shade. It is winter. I don't need to be super warm and bronzed, but we are going to go in with a little bit. So my favorite bronzer literally in the world is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It is extremely affordable and it is an amazing formula. I just want to put some color on my cheeks. Also, if some of you out there don't use blush, this is a great thing that you can do. Use bronzer. If you don't like the pinkness on your cheeks, use a bronzer. But you do want to have some color in your face. So I'm just going to build this up. And I'm messy with my bronzer, so I don't really pay attention too much of what I'm doing with this. I just like to kind of go all over. And I just blend it right into that contour. But you can see the differences as we kind of chiseled more with this little angled brush here and this little fluffy brush. This is a Real Techniques brush. This is the 300. I think this was like a special edition one. I'm not too sure. We're just kind of being messy and all over the place with this little brush right here. I use this for a nose contour. I don't really do too much. Sometimes I'll just go in with bronzer for this, but for those of you that are wondering, we'll go ahead and do this. So I'm going to go into back into this NYX palette, and I am going to go into this shade here. So we're just going to pick a little bit of that up, and we're going to tap it off a lot, like a lot. You're going to feel like you don't have any product left on the brush, but you do. And then really lightly, we're just going to hit the sides of the nose. And I like to take this up into the brow just because it kind of marries the color into the skin. And then we're going to keep blending this. And I like to blend it down just a little bit. Again, you don't want to have a really harsh line here. So we're just going to keep doing that. Dip in a little bit more. And again, tap it off like a lot. And then do the bottom of your nose here. Again, that just creates that natural shadow that you have already from the bottom of your nose. So we're just going to make sure everything is seamless at this point. And then probably what I'll do just to make sure everything is, I'll just go in a little bit more. Again, it's what you like. It's not what I'm going to tell you. It's not what anybody else is going to tell you. What makes you feel the best and what you're most comfortable with, that's what you should do. So from here, we're going to go ahead and go in with some blush. So let's pick that up. Okay, so what I like to use, this brush has seen way better days, but that's not what we're focusing on right now. This is, again, just like a blender brush from Morphe. It's the M530. I've been using this brush for blush probably for the last 2 years, and I haven't switched to anything else, and it is continuously my favorite thing to pick up. It blends so well. And then I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me blush in the color 40, which is peach. And this is such a pretty shade. Like, it's got a little bit of reflective pearls in there, but not too much. Again, we're just going to tap it off the brush. So you get a nice sheen on the cheeks. And so I'm going to chisel even with the blush, not too much. But you don't want to put it just here because you're going to pull down your face, which you're going to, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm going to start in upwards motions. And I haven't quite started into the apples of my cheeks yet, which if you smile, these are going to be your apples. So we're not starting right there. We're kind of blending it up and out, back into the bronzer and the contour. So, and then when I'm close to done, I will blend this into the cheek. So we've got a really nice, gradient here with that blush, and it's not just all in one place. You know how like there'll be like toy dolls or maybe it's Peppy Longstocking, I don't know, but there's dolls that, I think I have a hair on my face, that'll have like that circular blush right there. Nobody wants to look like that. I sure don't. So if you're a doll, it's cute, but I'm certainly not a doll. So we're just going to go into the next cheek here, tapping off all the excess. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to brush it up into the other product that we already laid. And then I'm going to start to focus it on that cheek. So you're slowly building, but the payout is much nicer than if you just start automatically all the color right in one spot. And I am a blush queen. Like, I love blush. So if I pack it on, don't judge me. It's just something that I prefer. And then I like to take the same brush. I don't put any extra product on it. And I just kind of hit the little tip of my nose here. And I'll go up into the forehead and a little bit on my chin, just so it kind of, again, is like a seamless kind of deal. After that, let's see. I pretty much do all of my skin in the same go. That's kind of just how I prefer to do it. And then I'll do eyes completely after. I know people are a little bit different in that way, but this is just how I like to do it. Again, doesn't mean it's what you should do. It doesn't mean it's what anybody else should do. It's just how I like to do it. So I am going to highlight a little bit. I don't do a lot of highlighting. Make sure, I guess my best word of advice is make sure you you get a formula that you love. Highlight can tend to bring out the texture in your skin. So if you've got really big pores, which I kind of do, so I don't highlight much, make sure you find like a really smooth formula, one that's gonna, you know, kind of glide over the skin, not sit into the pores and kind of just accentuate that. And I'm just gonna coat my brush, tap off the excess, and the brush that I'm using is a Morphe M510. So careful that you don't, some of us have these little like pockets here. That's a place to avoid. So I naturally am gonna put my highlight here, which some people are, you know, are gonna be inclined to put it up here, but we kind of have this pocket right here that it doesn't necessarily sit well on. So I go just kind of under here and then up. So I just kind of lightly blend this in, and then I do a little bit here. And it's just a really pretty glow. It's not too much. It's not overpowering. It just is very dewy on the skin. So I'm gonna do the same thing, tap off the excess, go right over here, and I'm gonna put it in the same area. Do a little bit there. And sometimes, like, if you feel like this is too much, like this highlight, you don't have to put it here. A lot of people don't. I just like it sometimes, but I will dull it down a little bit with my bronzer brush. I won't put any extra product on, and I'll just kind of brush that out a little bit. We're going to take the same brush, same highlight. We're going to kind of dust the product off, and I'm going to go right above the brow here. Just put a little sheen right there. And again, these are all places that the sun is naturally going to hit your face. So we're going to do the same thing again. And then I'm going to take a little bit more, do my Cupid's bow. A little bit on the chin, not too much. And then we're going to go into the nose. Here's my thing with a nose highlight. I do feel like if you put highlighter on the very tip of your nose, you are just making it look bigger. There are days that I will still do this because it just kind of feels right, and that's what I feel like on that day, but it's not necessarily what you should be doing. So, really what we're gonna do is kind of just go in with a little bit on the bridge of the nose. Just right in this area. Hopefully you can see that. And we've just kind of highlighted like the bridge of our nose. You have kind of like a natural highlight on the tip of the nose. I don't like to add to that, so I'm not going to. And then that's kind of what I do for skin. That's kind of my whole thing. So I think what we'll do is, you know, kind of move over into the eyes, which I think I'm going to put the eyes in a separate video. So this will be kind of like my skin routine, kind of what I do. And we'll go from there. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I ended up just doing a neutral brown smoky eye. I used the Smashbox Cover Shot Matte eyeshadow palette. And we used this little section of browns here. This is a really great palette. One of my favorites for sure. I did my brows, put some mascara on. I used the Colossal Big Shot Maybelline mascara. This is one of my favorites. But yeah, this is it. This is what we came up with. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment if you have any questions or any suggestions or want to see any other products used. Also, if you would, please subscribe to my channel. The goal is, especially in 2020, to grow the channel as much as I can, and I am excited for the adventure ahead. So I will see you on the next one.